So, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are both very charismatic leads, but they are getting way too much credit for the fourth Bad Boys movie. This is a franchise that has pretty much gone downhill since the first one made these two movie stars and also made Michael Bay the king of overwrought action porn. The second movie is basically a good representation of what a migraine headache feels like. The third one isn't very memorable at all, and Ride or Die is basically a good indication that this series just basically needs to be put to bed. This franchise isn't just tired anymore, it's pretty much sleeping. I mean, take the opening moments between Mike and Marcus. Smith and Lawrence used to have a rapid fire energy with banter, profanity, comic put downs. Only here in Will Beall's terrible script, there is nothing of the sort. Instead, one of them has a heart attack in the opening minutes, and just by the looks of him, you have a pretty good idea who. This franchise is still eager to please, and it tries for that broader, more cartoonish appeal. Like in one scene, Lawrence even goes bare ass for a laugh, and in several more, he has the kind of euphoria most people who survive serious health issues have, just times 10 for the humor. For the most part, the two actors struggle, though, in scenes that really make the series look like a spoof of its former self, and in witless racial comedy scenes. The plot, such as it is, has the guys trying to clear the name of their former captain, who's played by Joe Pantoliano, who is posthumously being framed as having taken bribes from drug cartels. What they find is that there are a bunch of dirty players involved in this, including those in their own department. It's essentially a rehash of what came before, and that the comedy scenes are so weak doesn't help. The film was directed by Adil and Bilal, the two guys who directed the third one, and now come back needing a win after their Batgirl was shelved by Warner Brothers. To their credit, they seem to have studied the work of Michael Bay well. They get great use out of the posh and sun-soaked Miami backdrops and those Miami women, and their camera is always moving through every explosion, gunfight, etc. There are stylish helicopter crashes, slam bang car chases, and even a shootout that seems to have been filmed from the point of view of the gun. I mean, this is pummeling stuff that will either wow you, lull you into a stupor, or do a little bit of both. Either way, the only fault I could really find in it is that sometimes the camera work comes off too dizzying and herky-jerky for its own good. This movie is loaded with villains, which usually is a good sign that not one of them is interesting, and that proves to be true here. Completely forgot that Mike has a long lost son now, and so we have to go through melodramatic scenes of those two reconnecting. Tiffany Haddish is on hand, but her scene is so freaking cringe inducing, I couldn't wait for it to be over. The Joey Pants character not only has a daughter in this now, but he also has a granddaughter that for some reason has to be shoehorned into the plot. And even Joey Pants himself just seems kind of sad to just be having to deliver expository dialogue rather than really mixing it up with the guys again. I mean, just everyone in this movie just seems like a shadow of their former selves, except for Marcus's son-in-law, Reggie, who's played by Dennis Green. Pretty much the funniest thing about this movie is that the kid that Lawrence and Smith basically traumatized in Bad Boys 2 is now the Black John Wick. Otherwise, the only thing that this movie does especially well is some overwrought action. The plot is dull, cliche riddled, and so loaded with characters who are just there for absolutely no reason other than to push the running time to just an absurd length. The jokes are not there, it's not funny, and also just Martin Lawrence and Will Smith seem to have given up on being Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. Rather than being too old for this shit, they just look bored with it now. That's why I'm going C, guys. But that is my opinion. I'd love to hear yours. Let me know down below there. Also, if you could click that like button, click that subscribe button, and I do hope to see you back next time. Thank you so much. Bye bye.